You know how they say people can remember all the bad times, but they can't remember the good times? That's how I remember all the bad times. I picture my mother, father arguing, fighting, and then I picture myself always, in my room crying or something like that.
Sometimes Tony cried. Sometimes he got mad. But mostly he didn't talk. Today, Tony is an 18-year-old who talks all the time. Looking at his early life, he says, is like looking at a television screen, almost like watching someone else. The pictures never stop coming. A picture of his mother pushing him down the stairs. His arm was broken, and she blamed it on the dog.
And I remember, my father had his favorite suit. I mean, I'm like, what could a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, or 7-year-old do with a big old suit? Okay, my mother was cheating on my father, and she gave it to one of her boyfriends, I guess. And she said maybe my friends and us did something with it. That's what she told my father. And he whooped me real bad for it. Whooped me real bad.
A picture of his cousins moving in after his parents divorced.
7 people stood in one little house. It was I was the littlest, boy there, and I'm following everybody else footsteps.
Tony learned to do what they did. It began with taking candy from a store or loose change from a table. He wanted to be accepted by his cousins, so it helped them out. He could slip through a milk chute and unlock an empty house for them to burglarize, while his mother waited out in the car.
I knew what was right. I wanted to do what was right. But it's you be around it.
When Tony was 11 or 12, he and his cousins were arrested for breaking and entering. More arrests came later, and greater danger.
I was with my cousins, and I stole this car. I was 14 there too, messing around with it, trying to start it up. So this guy came with a gun. So I did something, just backed up, went out. And he started shooting at me, and I came out to the street like that. Big old truck just hit it. All I can remember is me getting out and just running.
Tony tried several times to run away from his mother, but it didn't work. So he found another way to escape. He deliberately got arrested and became a ward of the state. He was 17 when he was released into a program of supervised independent living. There, he got a break. The coordinator of the program was Pam Cuthbert, and she was nobody's fool.
Some of these kids will come in and just sit across from you and parrot back what they have learned through the system to say, and be absolutely nothing but this hard shell. We call it fronting, okay? And fronting simply means, I'll tell you what you want to hear, but it may not be what I feel. But Tony was different. Tony had that kind of a sense about him that when he was talking to you, he was talking from the heart. And I didn't want to lose this kid. There's just no way I wanted to lose him.
Pam didn't lose him, even though the first month was rough. Tony knew what he wanted.
I always wanted to go to school. I kept telling him I want to go to school, Went to summer school, and I got an A- in government. I was like, dang. So that would really made me think about, well, you can do something in school.
Tony also decided to play football. He had always been good at running, and that fall he ran a kickoff back for a touchdown. Almost.
I thought about it before halftime. I was going to run a big play. It's like I was just sitting there thinking about the ball coming to me and I'm going to run a big play. And it happened. They kicked it off the second half. I can't see it because it was up in the lights. And it came out, hit me in my hands. So I fumbled it, and it went all the way back up the end. So I picked it back up and ran it 87 yards.
Great.
It was like watching my kid just tearing down the field, running towards a goal, which was scoring a touchdown for Tony. And then somebody caught him 3 yards to the end. I wish Tony could have taken that ball in instead of someone else.
Someone else did take the ball in, and that was all right with Tony. He had a special attitude.
It was never I, me. He never sat and talked about the great plays that he made or the great runs that he did. But it was always constantly going up and down that line of all those guys and saying something to each one of them. There's always that constant team player. That's unique with a kid.
Unique, perhaps, but not hard to explain.
Tony wants a family, you know? He doesn't want to have a family right now. He wants to be mothered and fathered and be a part of a family unit. All these kids do.
Today, Tony's a high school senior looking ahead to college. He has friends. He has Pam. He has something like a family. For the first time, he has a hopeful future.
I'm doing good in school, but I'm not doing so well in school. I want to do better. I know it's hard. It'd be times I just want to say, well, I'm not going to school today. I just want to, just go to sleep. Then I tell myself, if I do that, what will happen?